Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Skoda. As if you don't know, I'm the past District 33 director. It seems like yesterday to me, but it was like a long time ago, but not as long time ago as our guest. Now, this is part of District 33 Meet Your Family. Because many of us don't know everyone in District 33. We have almost 3,000 members. Now, we had a really big district a few years ago, and we came down a little bit and very more manageable for us and gave more opportunity to the different members. Now we have great leaders who came and went. We have people, members forever. I mean, I know members have been around for 20 or 30 years, part of this district and other parts of the world. But anyways, enough about me talking. Make sure you share our interviews. Make sure you leave comments about it, and make sure you give the utmost respect and a warm welcome to the District 33 director before me, Tim Mullins. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing good, Joseph. Thank you very much for this opportunity. How did I wind up in Toastmasters? That
Yeah,
is the first question, right?
always one of the questions.
Way back in 2002, 21 years ago, 21 and a half years ago, I saw an email from my supervisor through the supervisor network. And this email had a flyer in it. And the flyer said, join Toastmasters and learn how to listen. And that piqued my interest. Now understand, this supervisor was not a Toastmaster. He was just passing this along. So it's almost like karma or something, because non-Toastmaster talking to a non-Toastmaster. But I decided I'm going to try and find out how I can learn how to listen, or how Toastmasters teaches people how to learn to listen. So I attended a couple of meetings. And when I went to the third meeting, they came up to me, and don't be like this, but they came up to me and they said, are you going to join or what? And I said, I'm going to join. And
Nice.
so I did. And I joined for the express purpose of learning how to listen. And there are a plethora of ways that we can learn how to listen in Toastmasters. And I'll get into that in a little more depth in a little bit, hopefully, if I can remember. But going along with the story, about, I don't know, a month or a month and a half after I joined Toastmasters, I went on vacation. And when I came back from vacation, they said, congratulations, we elected you Sergeant at Arms. And so leadership wasn't even on my radar. But I thought, okay, it's a challenge. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do the best job that I can, because they're trusting in me. So I was Sergeant at Arms that year. Now, the president of my club that year, she kept talking to me and saying, Tim, you're the president next year. You're going to be the president. And I was so green. No, nothing like that. But by the end of that year, I was primed. I was ready. Yes, I'm going to be president. She went on to be the area governor, and I was the president of that club, Point Magoo Toastmasters. And during that year as area governor, she kept saying, Tim, you're going to be the area governor next year. And I'm going, no. But by the end of that year, I was primed and ready. Yes, I'm going to be the area governor. And I did. So within 3 years, I was an area governor. Actually, a couple of years, I was the area governor for area B2 at the time of Division B. And wow, that was the beginning, and almost like a rocket, like a missile-like launch of my Toastmaster career. During that time, I also got under the old educational program, my CC and my Advanced Communicator Bronze. So I gave 20 speeches those 2 years. I'm very proud of what I did, but a little bit of burnout, that can happen, right?
Sure, they
So
can.
I kind of drew back and just stayed in the club for a few years. And then I got that leadership itch again. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and try to get into district leadership again. And I did. Now, I'm not sure if you have a question for me, like as far as where it went or whatever, or I can just go on and on and on.
Well, what was it? Well, question, because the first time, for instance, when I ran for division director, I think it was Division E at the time, I was beat. Somebody ran against me and I lost by 6 votes. I lost by 6 votes. Hurts. That hurt. And I think when I went for club youth director, I lost the first time by 6 votes. It's still like that. But really confusing. But me too. I became a VP my second year in Toastmasters, which was really good. And I didn't know what I was doing. It's only been in, just over a year. And it just so happened our president stepped down after 2 weeks. And so they just shifted everyone up. So maybe 2 or 3 weeks into the new session, I'm the president. I've been a Toastmaster maybe 13 months, 14 months, something like that. Didn't know what I was doing. Wasn't sure I was even interested in being a Toastmaster. I get in for all the wrong reasons, but I love the networking, I love the talking, I love learning. But I get in for the wrong reasons. And not only did I become president, I became president's distinguished for that club.
Mhm.
And I think you can elaborate on this too. It's not the one person in charge or the top that makes a club or an organization successful. What are some of your experiences and your successes of making things work?
I'm glad you asked that question because I have another story. And in my first Toastmaster club at Point Magoo Toastmasters, we were doing quite well. We were either distinguished or select distinguished, even president's distinguished for several years. And then all of a sudden, the cycle of life, the cycle of Toastmasters, we started going down. And we went down, down, down until we wound up with 7 members. And our 7 members were the 7 officers. We sat down in an executive officers meeting and came up with the challenge, so to speak. Are we going to let this club die? And at that time, Point Magoo Toastmasters was something like 50, maybe 60 years old. And are we going to let this club die on our watch, or are we going to do something about it? We decided that we were going to do something about it, and we buckled down. We made a plan, and we followed that plan. The first year, we went from 7 members to 13 members and became distinguished. The next year, we went from 13 members to 18 members and became select distinguished. The next year, we went from 18 members to 23 members and achieved president's distinguished. So it wasn't instantaneous, but it was the core members of that club making a decision that we are not going to fail. And I think that that is something that each club and each officer in that club and each member of that club has to internalize. Sure. Am I going to be that weak link? Am I going to be the cause of this club failing? Not on my watch. Not going to happen. So I think that that is something that we can all achieve on an individual and a collective basis if we work for it. Does that answer your question?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I have a similar experience during the pandemic where everyone was losing members. Some clubs were actually closing. And my home club, South County Presenters in Arroyo Grande, well, it's virtual now, but Rome Grandy's kind of where it started. We were down to 4 members, and no one was coming back, so we lost other core members. People been involved a lot longer than me due to whatever, and so even in the virtual format, they didn't want to jump in. But I was able to, in a 1 year period, as the new president once again for this club, president's distinguished. Crazy. I don't know how many members it was. I probably just barely squeaked by, but it wasn't going to fail on my watch. I love that. It wasn't going to fail on my watch. Now, I know you and I both have a military background. Aim high Air Force is what I got to say. But tell us a little bit about your background in the military. What brought you to Ventura County?
I was born and raised in Napa, California, a little known place at the time. Now it's well known worldwide. I joined the Navy in 1969 because a couple of my friends joined the Navy. My military experience was probably the antithesis of what yours was. I was not I was not happy to be in the military, and I was in the Navy for 3 years, 10 months, and 5 days. But who was counting, right? But during that time, I went to boot camp in San Diego. I went to A school in Millington, Tennessee. And then I was stationed at Point Mugu, California, which is here in Ventura County. And that's how I wound up in Ventura County. From there, I got out of the Navy, joined civil service, and wound up with a 42-year career in federal civil service.
Wow.
Retiring in 2011.
So that must mean you're 50?
Yeah, I'm 50. I'm celebrating the 33rd anniversary of my 39th birthday, something like that.
Something like that. It's interesting because of the Air Force brought me to California. And I'm from the great state of Ohio. And it took me to Vandenberg, which is now Space Force Base, but it was Air Force Base when I got here. And even my son was stationed at Vandenberg. So I'm really grateful he was able to spend with my grandkids a couple years with us out here in California. Now he's in Japan. Now, when he was here, he joined a Toastmaster club on the base, Voices of Vandenberg for a while. When he went to Kuwait, he joined their club for a little while. And now Japan, he's looking for a club out there. And we all joined for different reasons. He joined because they told him he had to. It doesn't work all the time, of course. Now, why are you still in this organization? You said a couple of decades now, right?
Yes, absolutely. Over 21 years. The thing that has kept me in Toastmasters, it's twofold. First off, I am still a learner. Even though I've been in Toastmasters for 21 years, there's still something to learn. The other part of that is it keeps my abilities, my leadership, my speaking, my listening skills honed by staying in Toastmasters. It's like riding a bike. You ride that bike every day and you've got your skills at a higher level. If you drop that for a couple of years, all of a sudden you're getting back on the bike and it's a little iffier. That's the way I view part of the way I view my efforts in Toastmasters. The second thing is that I am in the position now to be a mentor, a giver. I can pay forward what I have received. And that happened, like I mentioned, I believe before, leadership wasn't even on my radar when I joined Toastmasters. And then all of a sudden, I'm the sergeant at arms, the president, the area governor. Then I backed off. But when I decided to get back into leadership, I decided I'm going to be a division director. So I'm going to try and be elected as a division director. And I put my name in the hat. or was going to put my name in the hat, and I got a call from our possibly incoming district director before the elections, before the conference happened. And she asked me if I would be the district secretary. Well, I had been there, I had done that, and I wasn't interested in going back and reviewing that,
Sure.
revisiting that. But I thought, no, I was thinking that I would be, well, how about club growth director? Would you consider that? And I thought, sure. So I went for club growth director and was elected into the position. Then, and in that position, which that year we were president's distinguished, we built 22 clubs. So that was an amazing accomplishment. And it wasn't all me. It was definitely not all me. It was a group effort and an effort on the part of the whole district. Then, of course, I was program quality director, then district director, immediate past. So during my tenure of doing the district offices, I was able to give back, but it was once again a learning and growth experience for me.
Absolutely.
And to me, that is the value of Toastmasters. It's not just a one and done. You're not just going to, okay, I've got everything now, and there's nothing more that I can learn. No, there's always something you can learn. And so for two reasons, and once again, to recap, number one, I'm still learning. And number two, I've got something that I can give back.
One question, obviously, I was part of your trio when you were the district director, and I was the club growth director at that time. And we had a different set of challenges. You were leading for the very last year, Las Vegas, so we were part of the district, and you had two program quality directors and two club growth directors. And I was one of those coming up on the team, sharing the responsibilities with another club growth director. And it was a little confusing and fun at the same time. What did you learn during that year?
Well, one of the main things that I learned is you can please some of the people all of the time, all of the people some of the time, but you can never please all of the people all of the time. It was somewhat, and this is no reflection on the people, but with 5 instead of 3, it was somewhat of a herding cats kind of an experience.
It sure was.
Because everybody has their own ideas and everybody has their own take. So it was challenging. It was challenging. Also, stop and consider it. There were, during my year as district director, there were 12 divisions.
Yeah.
There were 73 area directors. It was massive. And at our conference, every year we have a contest.
Yep.
Think about having 12 contestants in a contest. It goes for hours. So there were a lot of challenges. There were a plethora of challenges, but I tell you, it was a fabulous experience. I wouldn't do it again, not with 5 and not with 12 and not with 73, but I enjoyed the fact that I was able to do that.
Oh, that's fantastic. It was a good time for me, and I had to learn a lot myself. Well, I guess the question is, your boss suggested you join Toastmasters. Do you hear better now? Are you listening better? Do you understand better?
The answer to that is I get a question from my wife every once in a while, and the question is, when are you going to learn that listening thing? No, I think that I do listen a little bit better. I mean, come on, after 21 years, I better have improved that a little bit. Yes, I still have a lot to learn. And yes, I still don't listen as well as I probably and possibly could. But that said, Toastmasters has helped me in my listening skills.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you for your leadership and in your service in the military, your service in Toastmaster, your service with the government. I seem like we're always serving and giving back, and people get to know you just a little bit better. But they asked me, someone asked me this earlier, what exactly is your birthday?
My birthday?
Yeah, you don't have to tell me the year. When's your birthday?
My birthday, I'm going to give you a challenge. My birthday was on Thanksgiving last year.
Ooh, so November or something.
My birthday will be the day after Thanksgiving this year. I'll go ahead and tell you. It's November 24th.
On November 24th. Ah, so it's you and the turkey. They kept you. I like it.
Yeah, I'm the turkey. I actually view it when every 6 years or so, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. And I view it that all of America is celebrating my birthday.
Well, I wouldn't have it. Well, better put my hat on. People don't recognize me without the hat, for instance. We always have something we want to be remembered for. Now, be remembered for a hat's kind of stupid, but just it's a motto. What do you want District 33 family, and not just District 33, but Toastmasters International, to know you by, to remember you by, to appreciate from you?
Since we're talking about the Toastmaster family, I want to be remembered as a mentor, as a leader, as somebody who, if I didn't have the answer, would not rest until I did have the answer for any question that they might have. I have been in positions of leadership. That doesn't necessarily reflect what I want to be remembered for. Yes, of course, when you go to the things, the different trainings and what have you, it's, past district director Tim Mullins is here. That's all well and good. But I want to be remembered for what I've done, what I've contributed, what I've given to this district, to my clubs, to my area, to my division, to what have you. I want to be remembered as a giver. I guess to summarize it, I want to be remembered as a giver.
Oh, I love that. That's a great idea. And even though we're recognized, I know the big conventions that we've gone to over the years, it's the networking with other people around the world. And regardless of our titles, our positions, it's the people you meet. Like, wow, we don't know anything. I thought I had it going on. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. But with that being said, we appreciate you, Tim, past District 33 Director, when the district was much bigger than it is today. And we wish you the best in your future endeavors. So if anyone wants to find out more about Tim, which clubs are you part of right now, Tim?
Right now, my home club is Camarillo Evening Toastmasters, and we meet every Tuesday at 7:30 in Camarillo, but we are a hybrid club, so you can visit from anywhere around the world or around the district. My other club is Evaluable Toastmasters, and that is an advanced or a specialty club that focuses on evaluations. And so and we think that evaluations are valuable, therefore evaluable. And we meet on the first and third Saturdays of each month at 1 p.m. in the afternoon Pacific time. And we are on Zoom exclusively right now.
No, I love that. So you represent Division B, you're part of the evaluations. And I have to agree with you. Some of the most important things we can do in this organization is listen and how to give and receive a proper evaluation. So awesome. Well, thanks again, Tim. We look forward to seeing you around the campfire. We'll get out there and have some fun. All right. All right, well, everyone, this has been District 33, part of our series, Meet Our District 33 Family. So check us out on Facebook, check us out on YouTube, and feel free to reach out to me any of us to share your story. Why you joined Toastmasters, where you're from, what do you expect, or what have you already out of this organization? It's amazing how many people got promoted, how many people found their significant others, how many people got jobs to begin with. So whatever it is, come share your story. We love to hear. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you soon.